Good morning. My name is Mian Nhi Nguyen. Today I will talk about domestic perspective of Rohingya issues. So, as a student of science, I believe everybody has heard about the news. But what you may have not heard about is that there has been mass rallies throughout Myanmar to support what government is doing. And this does not limit the boundaries of Myanmar. There are Myanmars in Tokyo, Myanmars in London, Myanmar in the US, including, to be specific, in Minnesota and New York. People turn out to the streets to show their support to Myanmar government. So why is it there is such a contrast between the locals and the international community? Maybe you will understand better if you understand the feeling of the domestic people. So to begin with the historical background, the majority of the so-called Rohingya are migrants. They are seasonal laborers sent by the British to work on the farmlands in Myanmar. So some would go back after the season, but some would settle in. So, but the positive development was the two communities was able to live peacefully together in the same land. But the region was volatile from the beginning. There has been attempts to take over the northeastern part of Rakhine by some Muslim militants to congregate them into East Pakistan. So there was first of all, after Myanmar regained independence, there was the movement, armed movement known as Mujahideen movement. And again on 70s, in the form of, now they have changed the name to in the form of Rohingya Solidarity Organization. Again, their main aim was to take over the land. And it doesn't stop, it's still going on, and you may have the news that there was a recent attack on military outposts, security outposts. So, due to this conflicts and unrest, Rakhine people has to flee the region. Some inside the mainland, but some to the further extent to the other nations to find a better peaceful living. Now, in those regions, there's only 3% of ethnic Rakhine are left in these regions, and 97% are now Muslims. So Rakhines are minority there, and this is a shocking news to the whole Myanmar community. So the recent violence started in 2012 when a Buddhist woman was raped and killed by 3 Muslims. So this led to the outrage within the Buddhist community, and the two communities began to fight each other, kill each other, burn each other's houses. So the two communities have to be separated, and largely those who have no proper documentation, Muslims, those who doesn't have a proper documentation for citizenship are put in IDP camps. But this doesn't resolve the issue. The conflict is still going on. So this conflict affected both communities for sure. Both Rakhine is the second poorest region in the country. Rohingyas are poor as well as the Rakhines. But the international community and the media never reflect on the plight of Rakhine people, but they only focus on Rohingya and they sympathize on them. So this become cynical to the domestic people. Maybe they doubted that UN was helping them. In fact, they thought that UN and NGOs, although they are helping both the communities, they feel that they're helping those peoples who try to take over the land, by killing them. So, and even some locals become so emotional that they don't even accept the assistance from UN anymore. And they try to form a mob to attack those aid and convoys destined for the region. So to conclude, Myanmar people really feels that they have been left out. They have been trying to re-engage with, they are not perfect people, but they have been trying to engage with international community after sheer isolation for 50 years under operation of military government. Now they are very active and excited to re-engage with the international community, but the first impression wasn't what they expected to be. Thank you. So yeah, the time wasn't enough to explain the whole situation, but I'm happy to take the answers.
The answer
Questions?
to the
What
question.
questions?
Okay, I have a question. Yes, I appreciate you talk about the Myanmar's perspective in this issue, but I wonder that what's your analysis in why the international institution or organization would have such perspective on Myanmar's domestic issues? I mean, that like similar situation happen in many Asian countries, not Myanmar. Like we share different ideas and views. What do you think that caused these different gaps between different ideas?
The main point would be the understanding, because Myanmar peoples are kind of like introverts. They shy to talk with the international, and especially they are very cautious to talk about their family issues with the outsiders. So I think the international community have less understanding because they didn't expose too much on what's happening on the ground.
So you think that it's not like it's because of the communication between?
Yeah, as I said that this isolation for 50 years, they were cut off from the international community. So maybe that's the communication which is the barrier, so that they can understand each other. So that's why they're not communicating well. And I don't think I'm skeptical about the international community trying to really understand what's happening inside.
Yeah, I understand, because like I think utilize the internet. I mean, looking at what happened in Middle East as well, that people can utilize the internet, social media to express opinions and ideas to other people.
Yeah, you're right. There are critics on the Facebook and all in the social media, that's everywhere. But you will find less Myanmar people writing on those things, because one thing they are not good in English. They may write in Myanmar, but this doesn't. That's one barrier, yeah, of course.
Thank you.
Hi, I wonder if there's different from the attitudes of Aung San Suu Kyi government and the military government into this Rohingya.
There is a slight difference, because for the military, they feel that they're destined that they are. Their main aim is to keep the Myanmar map together in the war as long as they are there. Because they are very patriotic, so they'll do whatever to stop the map from being cracked or being separated away. Government, on the other hand, really understands, and that's not only the aim of the feeling of the military, but it's also the feeling of the people. Government understands what's happening, what the people's feeling on the ground, but they also want to re-engage with the international community. So they were trying to mediate, trying to find a solution, peaceful solution rather, to solve the issues. So maybe that's the. But government is, the democratic government can't do much if people's not following them.
Okay, it's taken us an hour to go through 5 presentations, and we've got half an hour to get through the next 5. So